Oh, wow. So, here I am again. Here I am again. And this just keeps getting more and more intense. Um, I got some more news coming in. Some interesting tweets. All this stuff about sexual assault and all this stuff about um, rape and men and women is all over the news, and this is actually pretty traumatizing for me, with all the stuff I've been going through in my personal life, my whole life, a lot of my life now, because, I see this world really is men versus women, and that's kind of what the media has it out to be, is like, all these women are coming out and speaking out about all this stuff, but what's crazy about it is that this stuff happens to men just as much, and it's almost like that's a statistic like nobody wants to hear about. It's like people don't want to believe like men can be violated, but they can. But I think this stuff is important because that's gonna come to light too, and that is important. Stuff will come to light when it comes to light, I guess. But I'm writing this video. I'm doing this video to get some stuff off my chest. I have been filming these videos one after another, and it's so funny. I'm kind of just filming them and posting them, and a lot of them aren't really getting a lot of views quite yet. But I know that at the end of all of this stuff that I'm posting, I really think that this is all gonna be very cool when I complete this project. But like I was saying, I made this video to find a way to vent about all this stuff, because no one understands me. And I'm having to deal with that. I think in the situation that I have of having dealt with a lot of trauma in my life, and recently, having this situation where, like I've been saying, like someone really took advantage of the trauma and stuff I dealt with. I feel like, when I first had met Dylan, I was going through so much stuff. It's really unfathomable, really just a lifetime of this bullshit. But John Aberhante, January of 2017, raped me a couple of times and gave me concussions on 2 separate occasions. And I'm still dealing with that, but I met Dylan around, I think, May, maybe. But I came to Portland in March, and we kind of have been communicating. I remember communicating with him like when I very first like got here, and trying to meet up, but I don't think I was giving him the time of day at first, for a while. But like I was saying, like I was in a super vulnerable position, and I'm telling this guy like, I just went through all this stuff, blah blah blah, whatever, and them like trying to comfort me. He always comforted me through some of that stuff. But he always like comforted me over and over again and told me like he would never hurt me, he would never treat me like that, like I was safe with him. He would never ever hurt me, and that he would always be cool. And it's just funny how all this stuff kind of ends up being a lie, or maybe it wasn't a lie, maybe it was the truth at the time, but according to Dylan, like I said, he changed his apology several times, but he ended up saying he lied about wanting to be with me, so I want to kill myself. Then he said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel like I wanted to be with you like that. Even though, as I was saying, like he went out of his way all these different times to say, yo, you're my partner, I want you to be my partner, like, yes, honey, like, you're so, beautiful, honey, like, just all this, chivalry. And it was kind of funny, like, I felt like, I'm like, I don't believe this dude like that or whatever, but he kept trying to convince me, like, it was like a thing. Like, I remember I was even like, yo, like, is this a thing? Like, do you like me? Like, are we, like, together or something or whatever? And I asked this, like, so many times. He was like, quit asking me this. This is, like, a continuous thing. So I think it's pretty funny because when he had told me he wanted to be platonic, I, like, cussed him out at first. And, a lot of it, at that point, I was just angry. I was upset. But it was, like, really funny because I'm like, how are you going to tell me you don't want to have sex with me when every time you come around me you want to have sex with me and you're like hard as a motherfucker? So basically, like, I cussed him out and then was like, you ain't shit, you're ugly, like, you're a piece of shit, you suck, fuck you, basically. So basically just considering, like, I cussed him out. I felt like maybe he felt a certain type of way about that. So one of the things, the conclusions I'm drawing is like, maybe, you know, he even told me, you know, you made me feel like shit when you cussed me out. So maybe he wanted to make me feel bad. Maybe he wanted to downplay the whole situation. I don't really know, but just shows me that, you know, people lie. People don't tell the whole truth. People just hurt you just to hurt you. Like, whatever the case, like, that's what happened. And, you know, now it's pretty funny, right? Because I've been trying to vent to people about this, and it's not helping. The only thing that's helping is these YouTube videos. You know, one of my friends said, you know, you should use better judgment. Like, people that lie, like, have patterns. Like, you should recognize those patterns. And, like, okay, first of all, let me tell you, you're preaching to the fucking choir, first of all. I've studied psychology my entire life since I was, like, 4. I've studied all this stuff about domestic violence. I've taken, like, courses with the Oregon Coalition of Domestic Violence. Like, I basically, like, lived a life that was fucked up. Like, I don't need nobody telling me, you know, oh, you should recognize signs. Like, first of all, I know what those signs are. And second of all, you know, I'm not out here reading people's minds, even though I probably could. I'm not out here reading people's minds. I'm not a lie detector. I can't tell when people are bullshitting me if they're good actors. Like, you know, is it my fault for believing what somebody said to me? Or is it their fault for lying to me and fucking with me? And I got in an argument with somebody else because they were asking me about this, like, you know, all the stuff in the news was happening, like, blah, 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 like, women are, like, mad now, blah, blah, and I'm thinking, like, okay, like, this is my life, like, I am a woman, like, I'm glad that all this stuff is, like, coming to the news and stuff, but it is a little traumatizing for some of us women to, like, see this shit in the news all the time, like, this is our life, like. And just one of the things we were arguing about, he didn't believe me when I told him, like, you know, just as many men are abused as women. And so, you know, it's fine. If people don't want to agree with me, I'm cool with that. I'm not here to convince everybody. I'm trying to fix my own problems. So that's basically what I told him, like, you know, if you don't believe me, Google it. Find out the information. Research the stuff. Like, it's out there. All this information is out there. Like, don't expect me to educate you. So I don't even know. He ended up hanging up on me. He's like, this is why we can't, like, be together, because of how you are and you just can't listen, blah blah blah. But I'm thinking, when is anybody gonna listen to me? Like, here I am, like, does anybody want to listen to me? Like, y'all care so much about all the stuff in the news, blah, blah, blah. What about my shit? What about my stuff? What about the woman next door to you? What about your sister? What about your friend? What about the people that are being assaulted and raped right next to you? Like, what about us? I guess I'm just tired of these men acting like they don't care. They care when I know they don't care. But y'all, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I'm tired of this shit. I can't deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. That's why I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck. I'll call anybody out. I'll say your name. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all can't hurt me. I've been through so much stuff. Like, I'm untouchable now. So I have no problem telling it like it is. I have no problem. And I think now I'm gonna finish my tea and smoke this hemp blunt that I just rolled. And I will see y'all on YouTube later.